Can an AliExpress cassette be used in place of a SRAM GX or a Shimano XT cassette? In this video, we're going to dive right into that. Investing in a cassette may not be the most thrilling part of upgrading your bike, like spending money on suspension or new wheels. So can we get away with spending $110 on this AliExpress cassette instead of splurging on SRAM GX or Shimano XT? I decided to test out the ZTTO cassette from AliExpress. And to my surprise, it came in $40 lower than SRAM GX and about the same price as Shimano XT. I would have expected it to be quite a bit cheaper than Shimano. Let's talk weight comparison. The AliExpress cassette, which was marketed as a super light cassette, came in at 375 grams, where the SRAM GX came in at 463 something, I'll put it up right here, and the Shimano came in at 475, almost 100 grams heavier. But the question remains, does it actually still work as a cassette? My journey with these cassettes has been quite eventful. I actually bought two, one for my e-bike and then one for my downcountry bike that you've already seen. After about 2 to 3 months of riding, about 1 to 2 days a week on my e-bike, I noticed that it started to skip in my favorite gear. In an effort to pinpoint the cause of the premature wear, whether it was from riding in wet conditions or if the cassette was just really soft and made from cheap steel, I conducted a straightforward test. Using a center punch, I punched a small dent into all 3 of my cassettes to see if the AliExpress cassette would have a bigger dent caused by a softer material. But this turned out to be fruitless. They all looked about the same. My inclination is that with less material comes faster wear. So seeing as it's 100 grams lighter, it kind of makes sense that it weared faster. And not necessarily softer, but it's just there's less material to push back on the chain. Along with that, this winter has been very, very wet, and we're seeing I've been riding in a lot of mud, which kind of acts like a sandpaper on your drivetrain. The cassette on my downcountry bike remains in excellent condition. I did have to modify it to get it to work. There was an issue on the 50-tooth gear straight from the factory. The middle tooth on the shift ramp was in a little bit slightly, causing the chain to get pushed off the cassette when it was shifting into the granny gear. I fixed this by bending those middle teeth on the shift ramp, and everything worked fine after that. Is this cassette the right choice for you? Well, that hinges on your priorities. If you just want the simplest and the cheapest, I would go with the Shimano XT. However, if weight does matter to you, I think this ZTTO is a really good option, albeit you don't mind doing some tinkering and know your way around a bike.